Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Real Reds Talk alongside me today, Mr. Shreyas Singh. And on the table today, we have these topics. Dorgu deal in the next 24, maybe 48 hours, but it's looking very likely that it gets done today. Pog back. Would you people take him back? Is it even a thought in your mind? Have you completely forgot he was even a person? Heaven signs. I don't know if it's Haven or Heaven. A youngster from Arsenal, centre-back, has signed. Here we go from Fabrizio today. And also, there are links with Casemiro going out on loan to Roma in the Italian league. That's coming from, I would say, Fabrizio Di Marzio then. I was like, Jesus, that's two completely different people. But I suppose they are one kind of person in a sense. But from Di Marzio, the reports coming out from that. But let's just talk about the Dorgu deal, Shreyas. United feel they can get him or get this deal done within 24 to 48 hour time period. Confident and optimistic after further talks with a new official bid coming in soon. Now, we off camera was just discussing how much Lecce bought him for, which was £200,000. Are they... I mean, one, they must be rubbing their hands together in the boardroom, first and foremost. But they're getting a really good deal for this player, aren't they?
They are. And I think this will be the biggest sale in history when it comes to selling a player. So it's a very, very big deal for them. It's a very big thing for them, and they understand our desperation to get that player. So they are going to try and do everything they can to get, even if they can drive the money by even just a single cent, they're going to do that. So from Lecce's behalf, very good deal for them. They're getting as much as they can for a player who's been playing in a team that has been really, really underperforming, has not been at the races altogether this season, and could be relegated. So for them, it's a big deal, and perhaps getting a couple of replacements in could actually save their season. This is all that's probably going to save their season if they're able to get replacements in, with the time that there is left in the transfer window. For United, I don't think that we should entertain this offer after this. I don't think we should have entertained that offer even before this, to be very fair. But now that it has come to this, I think this is the final bid that United should go for, because you can't be going in for, I would say, these sort of players who are not proven at all, who once again will be shifting from one league to a completely different league. And at the kind of age that this player is in, I don't think that you should be going anywhere near 40 million or 38 million for this sort of a player. If you go in for 38 or 40 million sort of a player, there should be some sort of guarantee that this player is going to come in. He's going to stabilize this team. He's going to be making an impact on this team. With Dorgu, we don't have that certainty. Maybe he comes in, he takes some time, he takes that 3 to 4 month period of integrating with the team, and then is finally able to show something on the pitch. So I just hope that United understand what sort of player they're going for.
It's bizarre though, isn't it? Because there's a thin line for me between like how much do you back the manager? He is Amarin's number one target, and then how much is overpaying. So then it has a snowball effect on the rest of the deals that you do in Europe. Because then when you go into the table, they're going like, well, I'm sorry, mate, you want to buy this senior premium left back? You just got to spend, let's say, £35 million on someone who's had 20 appearances or something. What makes you think we're going to sell for a similar price? We want 50 to 60, and then it becomes, do you know what I mean? Like, it has a long-term effect, which we've seen with the deals that we're doing now. I mean, this could be, they could turn around and say, well, look how much you paid for Rasmus Højlund from Atalanta. You paid £70 million. He only had, 9 goals for Atalanta at the time. He was a young prospect, and it has an effect every single time then. But it's weird because I do want them to give him the signing that he wants. If Amarin thinks he perfectly fits the profile, and he works out fantastic. But if he comes and ends up being a flop...
And it doesn't work out. Exactly. Man. And the problem is, if it doesn't work out, it completely falls on the hands of the manager. Not on the club, not on the board, not on Ineos or anyone. It completely falls on hands of the manager, that he had the flexibility to make one signing in January and he went in with a left back, and even that didn't work. So it's a very tough situation for the manager. So the higher the fee actually goes to, if it goes to 35 or 40 million, the more the pressure is on the manager.
Yeah, I agree. We was looking at his appearances that he's made for Lecce and even for the Danish team as well. And right wing, he's played 10 times. Left back 6 times. Left midfield 2 times. Right back 2 times. And left wing once. Like, he's played all over the pitch. Extremely versatile, which is probably another reason why Amorim, he's probably spoken to him and he said, listen, mate, we've got issues all over the pitch. We need a left back. We need a right back. We need an attacking player. Can you do them all? And he's probably gone, yeah, listen, put me anywhere and I'll do a job. I've even seen comparisons. So I was reading something before and it says, whilst he can be found at left back from time to time, he's increasingly being deployed as a right winger by the previous manager. And then when the manager left and the new one came in, this is the guy who started playing him on the right-hand side and realised his quality is cutting in from the right. And one of the comparisons that have been made with him, and I don't want to say he's this player, but this is the comparison.
Yeah.
Gareth Bale. So it reads like this. Gotti admitted towards the end of last season that he could see a Gareth Bale-esque transition coming for Dorgu as he continues his development. He seems to have great adaptability. He enjoys playing on the pitch. Important people from the football world are starting to call him it, asked to see Bale come forward. He could have played as a fullback. This could happen with Dorgu. So they're the comparisons that they're making. That kind of electric, powerful runner. If you got half the player he was, you'd do all right, wouldn't you?
Yeah, and the thing is, right now, this team needs more when it comes to the attacking potential of a player, not with the defensive side. And we are already feeling the effects because we need someone in those wing back positions who is naturally, I would say, a winger, naturally someone who has more attacking potential in his game, because that I think wing back position holds 60% of this team's, I would say, effectiveness on the pitch. If you don't have wing backs who've got that sort of, forward thinking approach, players who don't know when to bomb on forward whenever we are able to make the ball recovery and we're trying to spread the ball out, expand the play while moving into the final third, it absolutely kills the entire momentum of the team off. So you need someone in who can naturally, come in and do a job for you in those positions.
I agree. What's everyone else saying? Let us know in the comments whether you watch this live or watching this later on. Jolly saying Dorgu done today and we signed Heaven. Is it Haven or Heaven? I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm going to say Heaven. For the first time earlier in the day. So 2 signings in a day. Sam saying is hell no an option. That's in reference to the poll that we put up at the start of the show, which says, would you take Pogba on a 6-month loan? 23% said yes and 77% said no. The 23% show yourselves. I want to see who it is and give you reasons why. Where are you? As Delia Smith said for Norwich. Where are you? Where are you? £34 million is not bad, and we can get the same for him if he fails at the club. I'm not too sure on that because his value might depreciate. I look at someone like Malacia, who we signed, £15 million, right? Was Dorgu further along in his development than Malacia was?
No,
I remember. I don't think so.
To be fair, Malacia had more experience than Dorgu actually has.
Yeah. So, obviously, it is potential, and it's based on the player and profile. I get that side of it as well, but I do think it is slightly on the pricey side, just for me personally. UTFR is saying he'd rather have Alvaro back. I think Laurie Whitwell put something out about that today, saying that it's...
I think he's a safety net for United. If Dorgu doesn't happen, then they go and bring back Alvaro.
Yeah, for sure. Charlie's saying we're not taking 50 million here. 34 million, sorry, is cheap. Alvaro does not fit into what Ruben wants in his wing backs. I also agree with that. He's a no-go from the start. It's us fans who want Alvaro back, not the manager. Yeah, I get that. Let's talk about this Pogba story then, Shreyas, because it is circulating social media. I mean, I saw Pogba trending last night on Twitter. I was like, my God, what has happened here? So Pogba basically put a cartoon of him and Amad Diallo in the United kit on his Instagram story with the eye emojis, which we all know, what that is. And then like him looking out of a window as if like his next move is on the cards.
Yeah.
Do you read into that as United might actually, because obviously we do need a midfielder, whatever people want to think of, and someone with Pogba's qualities would fit that role, but it is Pogba, and he has been here twice before, and there has been a whole dressing room toxicity around him. So, judging by you scratching your head and your twitchy glasses, I reckon you think this is clout chasing, right?
Yeah, it is. And look, I think every single time the name Paul Pogba comes up, people just see the good side of Paul Pogba, that what he can bring to the team. Oh, he's someone who can match up to the intensity of the Premier League, has been at this club before, on his day is perhaps one of the best talents in Europe. everything is there, no doubt it is there, and he's a very talented midfielder on his day, but that's not the type of signing that United needs at the moment. Right now, we are a team which is actually building up from scratch. And even if I look at it from an experience point of view, I don't think in the positions that Paul Pogba actually plays, I don't think that's the area we actually need experience in. The area where we actually need experience in is the striker position. Because when you look at those inside 10 positions as well, you've got Bruno, who's been doing an exceptional job in those positions. And when it comes to, mentoring other players into that role, I think Bruno can do that job perfectly. When you look at, the two midfield positions that we've got, I don't think Pogba fits into any of them. In Ugarte's role or in as that box to box role, with someone, I don't think that, he fits into that sort of profile either. So personally, I don't think we should be, looking at this deal. I think it's just something he's trying to do to rile up the fans. That's just it.
Yeah, there's probably truth in that. I mean, the last game he played was August 2023 when he was on the bench against Udinese. And obviously, you have to discuss the fact that he's been out for so long.
Even when he played that last game, he played that game after being out for like 8 to 9 months because of injury. So, what sort of fitness level is Pogba at the moment? Even if he comes in what sort of capacity is he going to be playing in? I'm not saying United, but whichever club he actually ends up moving to. I'm sure that he's going to, find some club to play for. I'm not sure where, wherever he goes, he's going to be someone who's going to play you like 30 to 40 games a season.
Can you imagine a scenario where at the end of this window, they bring in Nkunku and Pogba and let Rashford go and let Garnacho go? That'd just be utter madness, wouldn't it?
Nkunku is okay. Pogba, not at all.
Yeah. I was reading something before, I think it was David Ornstein and a few others, saying these last couple of days, specifically for Manchester United, Chelsea and Arsenal, I think it was, are going to be crazy. It's just going to be all over the place because it's very...
You can look at it from our angle.
Yeah, and every club's waiting for the last day to then throw in that offer and try to get a 5 mil discount or a 10 mil discount on a player rather than, table in a £60 million bid for Garnacho, for example. They're waiting for the last day to go. We'll give you 55. Or we'll give you 50.
I've even heard that, Amorim's opinion on Garnacho has shifted a little bit. That he's open to actually keeping him at the club right now. He's more angled towards letting off Rashford to actually make way for another signing or another loan. But I just don't know. I think it's going to be very chaotic that if Garnacho leaves at the end of, like on deadline day, Garnacho leaves. And then we are trying to scramble 2 signings or 1 signing in that day itself. Then it can get really, really messy.
Yeah, well, look, we have had a signing today. It's probably not what a lot of people expected, but we have had a here we go from Fabrizio Romano. United have reached a full agreement to sign Arsenal defender Ayden Heaven, beating Barcelona and Eintracht Frankfurt to the 18-year-old signature, so obviously was well respected around Europe. Heaven is considered a first-team signing and will provide competition/cover for Lisandro Martínez, which I thought that line in itself is very interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and we do need cover for Lisandro Martínez because you can never be too sure about him.
He's in a very good vein of form. What are you talking about?
Yeah, and look, he's in a very good vein of form right now. But we've seen this before. He's been, 5 to 6 games. He's not been
Lisandro Martínez about, right? Not Johnny Evans. Okay, I'm just double checking.
No. Yeah. And then, he hits that form. You can see him, making those sort of passes. You can see him making those sort of good decisions when it comes to tackling around the box as well. He feels like a brick wall. He's coming back to that level once again.
Yeah,
his impact in this team is immense as well. But whenever he gets to that moment, he's not able to, carry it on for long because he picks up an injury.
Yeah.
So we do need, cover for him in that position. And right now if Lisandro goes out, we are at a loss for players who can come in and replace him. Because right now, when I look at centre backs that we've got at the club who can actually feature for us week in and week out, Maguire, De Ligt, Martinez, and Euro. That's just 4 players. So you do need cover for him in that position.
Yeah, that first team line I was like, oh, interesting. Because obviously we signed Chido from Arsenal as well. Take that, you mugs. We took Van Persie from you as well, you mugs. We knocked you out the FA Cup as well, you mugs. Just whilst dish them a bit of dirt whilst we can. Yeah, they've not come in and they've said, oh, this is going to be He's going to train with the under 18s or what have you, and then we're going to progress him, and we'll see what happens. This is just like, no, this guy's ready to go. So I must admit, there's been a lot of negativity around Ineos for financial reasons, obviously everything with the stadium, and I can go on and on and on, and rightfully so. There's a lot of negativity around them. However, what they're doing with the young players that they're bringing in,
it's been good.
Sekou Kone, Chido Obi Martin, Ayden Heaven, Samuel Lasale, like they're bringing in a lot of young players. Diego Leon, obviously, was a left back as well. Like, these things, there's a lot of teams now. I feel like it's kind of gone from, like, Madrid getting Galacticos to then Madrid getting the young Galacticos to then someone taking it a step further and going, we're going to find the young Galacticos. To a point where it's going to get to, they're going to get to, like, this sounds really dodgy, but go to, like, primary schools and just be like, are you good at football? Let's see. I will give you £1 million now. And, do you know, like, really investing from the start.
Yeah,
I know academy's been around forever, but
going to schools in villages in Brazil and Argentina just to look at players that can you play football and getting
throwing a ball and see who reacts to it and gets to it first. Just doing like putting on mad like Squid Game competitions and stuff. I don't know. I like what they're doing. It is nice to see them bringing in young talents. We just need actual players on the pitch now. Shreyas to do the job.
Yeah, we do. And I don't know how far Sekou Kone is. I think in the academy as well, he's been rated very highly. He's been rated as someone who might break into the team next season. They're going to assess him in preseason. Same goes for Diego Leon as well. He is someone who's going to be assessed as well when it comes to preseason. And the good thing about these two players, and the other players that we managed to get in as well, if they work out, they're going to save us 70 or 80 million in their positions.
Yeah.
And there's been lots of shouts about Obi Martin getting a go as well in the Europa League. So you never know how, he's going to be actually integrated into this team, because with the way he's been playing at the academy level, I don't think he's far too away from making a debut for the club. Maybe it happens next season or the season after that, but he's very close. So it's good that, they're investing when it comes to the youth, because we need more players coming out of the academy setup to make way in this team. It's been only Garnacho and Menu. I think that number needs to go up every season by 1 or 2 players per season, so that we can actually start making some moves in the in the Premier League as well as in Europe.
Absolutely, not just signing for the present. You've got the future to look after, and naturally, then if you start buying more senior, experienced players on the pitch, or just developing players properly, eventually, when these guys do end up coming into the first team picture, they'll be well more nurtured with the right environment around them. Because the issue that United typically have had is when a youngster's coming up through the ranks, they're looking up to the likes of Marcus Rashford to as the experienced pro, and they're going, well, he's going out, he's nightclubbing, he's in Belfast, he's not training properly. Look at all the attention he's getting, then it just becomes like players are looking up to him. You don't need that. You need better examples. So hopefully you can get that picture sorted as well. Just on to other little transfer tidbits. Melissa Reddy, Dimarzio, and a few others have been talking about Casemiro being open to a move to Roma. United are willing to let him leave on loan before the window closes. Nothing story, do you think? Or is something like, will it be we pay half his wages again? Because he's just not in the picture at all, is he, Casemiro, at the moment?
Even if we pay half his wages, Roma cannot pay his remaining wages either. So it's genuinely not a story I'll weigh much into. I think there have been a lot of links with Casemiro, and I think all of them are not really complete.
MLS, Saudi,
Oli wanting him at Besiktas and everything. So it's not really something that you can look at it and go, oh, this might happen. I think Casemiro ends up staying for the season, and when he moves, it will be in the summer window, because no club would like to make this sort of a move this deep into the January transfer window for someone who, even if they get in on a loan, will probably have to pay like 160 or 170,000 per week to a player. So I don't really see it happening.
You just knew, didn't you? As soon as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer starts managing Besiktas, the Rashford links, let's get the band back together. I mean, you'll see a Pogba link, I'm sure, in the next couple of days that he wants to go back to he wants to go to Besiktas. It is officially crazy season. So the next until 2nd of February, I think, when the window closes, just be prepared for some mad stories coming out about United. I mean, Pogba was yesterday. That was one of them. There'll be many, many more to come your way. The Athletic will also reporting that Garnacho is one of many wingers on Chelsea's wish list. They also like Kobbie Mainoo, but it's a very difficult deal to do right now. And he's one more for the summer if an opportunity arises with Manchester United. But again, that is just Chelsea looking at players as like a business commodity rather than an actual player, so maybe they would eventually integrate him into the squad, but like in the midfield, they've got Lavia, Enzo, Casado, all the youngsters in there. Like, they don't need players like this. It's just so bizarre to me how they're being linked with these players and how they actually would pay the cash and how actually players would fucking move there. That's mental to me. That I don't understand it, Shreyas.
None of them are getting playtime. Like you mentioned as well, Enzo is already there, Romeo Lavia is there, Caicedo is there, and in their midfield three, they started playing Palmer in the 10. So that just leaves you with two positions. And Enzo is worth around what, 120 or 150 mil. So he's not going to get benched.
Yeah, I think they bought him
is worth 100.
105 was it or something? 105, 110, I think.
Yeah. So you're not going to be displacing these players anytime soon. So if you're just going there with the intention of making a boatload of money on a 7 to 8 year long contract, go. I mean, good deal for you. But if people are going in there with the intention that they'll be starting week in and week out, that's not going to happen.
No, I agree. All right, let's go to the comment section then. Smash a like on the video, guys, if you are watching, ladies and gentlemen, should I say. And subscribe to the channel if you're new. Johnson Bobby saying Paul Pogba should come back home. I'm actually shocked at this, right? Look, it says here on the thing, nearly 50-50, 29 votes. What? Would you take Pogba back on a 6-month loan? It's 50-50 pretty much. 52%, 48%. That is madness. Who is voted? I know, Bobby, I know you're one of them, but there are other people in this chat right now. You need to speak up for yourselves and give yourself an argument why you would bring him back, because that has absolutely shocked me to the core. I'm not going to lie. That is crazy. But anyway, I was reading the comments, sorry. Bobby saying Paul Pogba should come back home. Random saying if Pogba comes back, we're officially a banter club that does not learn from its mistakes. I'm guessing Random's in the no club with the 52%. United's future does look good. We do need experience though. UTFR saying the Butcher's coming back. Ayden Heaven is 6'2", left-footed and quick. Ruben style player. Absolutely. Charlie said because we've got 10 to 15 wonder kids in the academy right now. Technically, our youth team are good. Physically, there's probably 10% of them that are ready. That's the problem. Yeah, I think we have to, kind of add on the fact that these are kids. The step up from under 21s, under 18s to Premier League level is a huge gulf. Like, a huge. You've seen players absolutely murder it for the teams and score loads of goals in that kind of, Charlie McNeil was scoring loads of goals and he's still yet to really progress through the ranks. So it has to be said, people are always, play all the academy kids, bring them through. Like, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work. You have to really drip feed them into the team. And the odd occasion you get your Mainoos and your Garnachos who really stand out. Apart from that, sometimes it can be a really slow progression. Sam's just put in, new local TV now reporting Lecce will announce the move to United in the next few hours. That's from Sport Witness. What I reckon Sport Witness have done, have seen Romano's tweet about the 24 to 48 hours, and they've just gone...
Minced the words and just gone with it.
You know the script. Charlie saying we're in the slump right now. We'll know a lot more in the summer what will happen to the club. The stadium could give Jim over 50% ownership, and he can do his plan of moving the debt onto Ineos. Speaking about ownership and Ineos and all those kind of things, James from the Muppeteers is on tonight, and we will be talking to him about all the controversy surrounding Ineos and all the back and forth he's having on social media with the likes of Mark Goldbridge and these kind of people. We'll be speaking to him about all of that stuff and transfers as well, of course. So make sure you join us at 7 o'clock. Pinchbat 4000 says Pogba is quality. We are crap. 6 months only on cheap wages. Can play 6, 8 or 10. He'd probably be our best midfielder if he's fit. What do you say to that, Shreyas?
Cannot work as a 6. In this system, does not work at all as an 8. 10, maybe, but does he play ahead of Bruno? Does he play ahead of Ahmad? No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
And if you know Pogba up until now, wherever he ends up moving to, he's not going to be moving to a club where he is going to be someone who's just going to be sat on the bench. So wherever he goes, he wants minutes. And United at this moment, I don't think that we're in a position where we can actually give him minutes. Or we even, with the amount of legwork that Amorim actually wants from his players. Pogba doesn't have that sort of thing in his locker to move as much as Ugarte does in that midfield. Or the amount of ground that Bruno covers on the pitch, Pogba is nowhere near to that level to have that sort of engine in him.
Yeah. I can't believe if that goes past, if that yes on the poll goes past 50%, my head is going to fall off. It's actually gone to 50-50 now. So I'm quite worried because 50% will take him on a 6-month loan. That is crazy. I know I said I considered it the other day, but the more I think about the toxicity, not the other day, just like a few months ago or something, but the toxicity in the dressing room, what he brought, the fact it would be the third time he comes back, the fact that how long he's been out for. The one thing I look at, and I'm like, his long-range passing when he could spray a ball. I think we missed that at the moment. I think Bruno tries it, the Hollywood passes, but they never come off. I remember Pogba would pick it on a half-turn and just fucking...
Pinpoint to Rashford.
Yeah. But we don't have Rashford anymore, so...
Yeah, exactly.
He's playing it too.
And look, there's even no guarantee that even if we sign him like on a 6-month deal, he comes in, plays one game and gets injured and he's out for the next 3 months. So... yeah. There is no guarantee when it comes to Paul Pogba because he's a very injury-prone player as well, which people seem to forget.
Yeah. Pogba's quality, did he play in the last 3 years? UTF has seen job security. What if Garner goes? We don't have enough midfielders or money to sign one. If Garnacho goes, they will replace him. With who? I don't know, but it'll probably be an Nkunku or that type of loan, I'm guessing. Because they want to buy the main targets for Amorim, I'm guessing, in the summer. They don't want to do it in January. So they'll get a stopgap. I say stopgap. Nkunku's a quality player, but it'll be that kind of signing, in my opinion. Goldbridge does say Højlund is a good player, so take what he says with a heavy loud assault. He says that about Højlund because Højlund was the only Man United player to give him an interview. That was the only reason why he still backs him. I mean, you can't do a review. You see the clips on Twitter and online without mentioning Onana. That's the only him, Rashford, and there was a few others who were always targets. There'll be new ones to come, I'm sure, but I don't take anything Goldbridge says with anything at all. Random saying I disagree with you on Nkunku. That's fine. Good if you disagree with me. That's what I want. Everyone should have the same opinion. I get the concerns with Nkunku. I get the injury thing.
Plus, if you have another player who could probably come in right now in this team, name him. Type it in the comments and we'll look at him.
Name a player who's at Nkunku's level in Europe who you would replace Garnacho with right now, who's actually feasible. Don't go say Yilmaz from fucking Juventus or something. You know what I mean? Like, credible players who are available on the market within the next 5 days. You won't find a player that's better than Nkunku, I'm telling you. Now, is that a reason why we should sell Garnacho and get him? Absolutely not. I don't agree with that in the first place anyway. But that's the reality of the situation at the moment, unfortunately. So we'll just have to wait and see what's going to happen. Loads of stuff happening over the next 5 days. Like I said, we've got Muppeteers on at 7 o'clock. So much to discuss with him on there. We'll have the preview for the FCSB game probably tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow night. Fit it in there with the transfer show as well. We've got a big guest on Thursday before the Europa League game, which is going to be a really good interview with a guy I've been trying to get on for a while, and he's really good when it comes to tactics and just journalism in general. He's really good. So I'm excited for that. And then obviously you got all the weekend action with Premier League predictions and the game. Who do we play on the weekend? I don't even know. Palace, right?
I'll just look it up.
I think it's Crystal Palace at home on the weekend. So yeah, we are busy. And yeah, look, we're one subscriber away from 11,400. So if there's any lovely people in the chat who are watching at the minute, it takes 2 seconds. It's absolutely free. Become a part of this community and join us. We are live every single day. And thank you to Shreyas for coming on. Any final words, Shreyas, ahead of the transfer window closing in the next 5 days?
Yes. Get this done before the final hour, please.
Yeah. What are your expectations?
Just Dorgu or Alvaro. Personally, I just think Dorgu or Alvaro. It's just way too complicated to do a Garnacho deal right now because I just don't know. If Garnacho does end up leaving, it's going to create a lot of trouble for the club to replace him within time because how many days are left in the window now? 4 to 5 days. And even if a deal happens, I'm sure it doesn't happen before the FCSB game. So you're not giving yourself a lot of room to actually look at as many options.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. I think there could be a couple of surprises along the way, to be honest with you, the way the market's working at the moment. especially with Marcus Rashford, I don't see him going anywhere at all. I just don't see it happening. So then we're going to have a player just sat there, his value depreciating, and madness, isn't it? Absolutely crazy. Last couple of comments. Pinch back. If Garnacho goes, frees up 180 million in PSR movement transfers. There's your money. Lingard dancing in Korea. Pogba banned for juicing. Rashford is next. The Three Stooges. I've shown their mentality. Random's asking when is the merch dropping. So me and Sam are having conversations now in terms of how to supply it and ideas on the actual merch and bits like that. So that's all being discussed. It won't be imminent within the next couple of weeks anyway, I'll tell you that. But it's being worked on. So
monitoring is what I'll say.
Monitoring, yeah, that's the perfect word. In the transfer window, that is the buzzword that always gets used. But we're actually doing more than what, journalists will say, like monitoring. We're actually working on it. When Paul Pogba was playing, people expect goals from him because we bought him 89 million. How many midfielders does what he did in United? Look, we could be here all day talking about Paul Pogba. Yeah. I'm happy to say, we put the poll up at the start. It was getting close. It was 50-50 for a large part of it. But now it's no... 54% of people said no, 46% of people have said yes to taking Paul Pogba on a 6-month loan. The world is healing. It's finally healing, just about. Just about. Anyway, we'll leave it at that, guys. We've hit the 30-minute mark. We will see you later on at 7 o'clock, hopefully. Join us, Muppeteers. Ineos revealing things, transfers. It's going to be a big, big deep dive, and it'll be me, Sam, and James from the Muppeteers. So, it'd be nice to see as many of you as possible. Apart from that, enjoy the rest of your day. Me and Shreyas will see you guys in the next one, yeah? Legend.